Come straight out of a comic. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, but not a dinosaur story. This is a daredevil story. Welcome to another edition of Straight Out of a Comic Book. First episode of 2025. Glad to have an old head back and somebody new. And I've been trying to make this happen, but it's just been every time. But we finally in 2025 got it right, man. And I got another guest on here with me. Very glad to have this guy on here, man. Knows Marvel from head to toe. I love that he loves to talk shit about DC as well when need to, not just disrespectfully, but you know, it's kind of like football. When you come make fun of my team, I'm gonna make fun of your team. Incredible comedian. You've seen him on Sprite commercials for like the last 5 years. I don't even know if it's 5 years, but it feel like 5 years. But every time on the holidays, this man pops up. BT Kingsley is here with us today, man. BT, glad to have you here. How you feeling today, man?
I'm good, man. I just had to make sure you knew I wasn't a hoe, bro. Like you hit me a few times, and I feel like I was flaking, but it was all legitimate because you know you my dog. So that's why I hit you like, hey man, listen, just for we clear, man, I want to do the show. You got the availability, came back with them humble. You got the availabilities over there. You got to hear them episodes straight out of comic book for you.
Well, this is how I let you know it was real. I wasn't gonna start shooting again till February.
Right.
Start, but then you was like, "Yo, just let me know when you're available." I was like, "Look, I really want BT on here. I'll do this shit early. He available next week." And he was like, "Monday or Wednesday, we shooting this shit Monday." And of course, I went to the ones I know will be here. I was like, "Deuce, just let me know if you're available Monday." He was like,
"Bro, I be watching the clips. Y'all be having so much fun, man." I'm like,
"Oh yeah, man, it's always a good time. It's gonna be
straight out of a comic book. Come on."
We glad to have you here, man. Deuce,
let me be yellow. let me be Jerry Heller. Come on, man.
I just want to be down, baby. I just want to be on one episode, baby. Deuce, what about you, man? 2025, how you feeling, bro? How's everything on your end in the geek set world?
So I ain't gonna hold you. I'm extremely happy to be back, bro. Like I felt like with the clips that you've been circulating, I was like, damn, man, I miss being on that motherfucking show. Like, and I ain't been on here in a minute. So I'm like, hey, man, like when you sit it through, I was like, hell yeah, I'm definitely down. Before I even saw who was gonna be on it.
You know what else too, man? I gotta give y'all props. I don't know if y'all know this or not, audience, but this boy Will is a professional. Okay, let me tell you something. That email I just got, boy, that looked better than 4 call sheets I didn't had from big studios. I was like, this boy is efficient. Yeah, information in there. The spelling was right.
I gotta get credit where credit is due. CT definitely made me have to step that up. Because you know he told about yourself. Be like, so you gonna send us stuff so we prepared instead of just shooting off the hip. I was like, you know what? I got you. Mm-hmm. Ever since then, you already know how CT is. Once that shit kind of sit in your brain, you be like, nah, I can't do this again. And then CT bring this up. Nah,
that's like his superpower. Like, he'll embed some shit to make you better, and you hate it because the way he say it, right? You be like, man, shut up. But you right.
You super right.
Yeah. So you're not gonna work on that call sheet, my boy? I'm like, oh shit.
Right.
As soon as you hit him, my boy, I'm like, damn. We didn't got us. Man. 2025 may be starting off a little interesting here around the world. But Marvel itself, though, has still been trying to keep it steady. And 2025, it looks like they back. It looks like they are back. We were a little bit nervous with season 4. Season 5 was, I don't want to say rough. It was just very, okay, what are we doing? And we got a lot of shit we shouldn't have been shown or told, but it seems like we're getting back to that essential Marvel feel that made us fall in love with the live action versions in 2025. Man, we got Daredevil Born Again coming out March 4th on Disney Plus. Disney, you bet not hit me with this 1 episode a week. I know that much. All right. If you hearing this, I need it like Netflix. Drop the whole shit. Drop the whole Born Again for me. Or do like What If. Come out every single day. Do not tread me for I don't even know how many episodes, if it's going to be 10 or 13, but I do not need to go through 10 to 13 weeks after seeing the trailer that I saw. But I got to know, have y'all seen the trailer for Daredevil Born Again yet?
Absolutely.
All right. So I just want to get from, so I'm going to start with BT. From all the stuff that we did hear about, well, just matter of fact, let me bring it back. The story of where we've gotten from Daredevil Netflix to Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus. We have heard wasn't coming back, then it was coming back, then we're changing the whole thing, but we still gonna have some of the people in there. We had Kingpin's wife not going to be cast. It was going to be a woman from an Asian woman that was going to be cast. It was going to be a whole different tone. Karen Page and Foggy not coming back. Then they scrapped all of that and was like, you know what? I think we just going to keep it the same way and reboot season 4. But now from seeing the trailer, after hearing all that madness and seeing the trailer for Daredevil Born Again, where are you sitting with the show currently now?
I'm excited. I can say this is how I know I'm excited. I restarted Daredevil, and Daredevil I'm on episode 12 of season 1 right now. So I just restarted, and when I tell you I don't remember nothing, I remember Vanessa. I remember close quarter fights. I remember what's that boy name? Well, I remember the door slamming. Kingpin killing no more with the door, and that was it. Everything else I was building, I was like, I don't remember none of this.
I'm like you. I'm on season 2, episode 12.
Yeah, man. So I was like, I'm very excited. Daredevil was one of those weird characters, man. Because you know what's it's interesting. The Netflix show, it leans very Batman-ish. It's very dark. He's very trying to figure it out. He's going around. He's beating up, villains. And I realized, oddly enough, this sounds crazy, but I don't know if there's in the whole MCU, and I'm talking from the beginning to like Iron Man 1, if there was a character doing that outside of like Spider-Man, a little bit was just going around, stopping crime, beating up vigilantes. Just, hey, man, who robbed that liquor store? It just was, everything felt bigger than that.
Yeah.
No,
even like Iron Man felt smaller but bigger. So I was like, wow, this is like a necessary component to comics. You got to have just street level fighting. And then like little nuanced things like how Daredevil moves, I feel like it is interesting for our payoffs later. Because I don't know if anybody else does full, I almost said capoeira, parkour. So he moves quickly, even though he ain't got super speed or nothing like that. I say, oh, that's gonna be very like, remember when we were watching Infinity War and you see Cap running with the soldiers and then they just kind of take off. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Because it's like those little nuanced things as comic fans we respect and notice. So it's like, okay, boom, you established that Panther's fast, you established that Cap's fast. Yes, they should be faster than everybody. So I'm imagining a world where something's happening and Daredevil's keep it up because he's just parkouring through rooftops. I was like, oh, this is very, very necessary. But I'm very, very, very excited for I'm gonna finish. I just had to get through season 1 because we all know season 2 is where it's at, baby.
Exactly.
We all know season 2 is where it's at. Man.
But
the action scenes are great in Daredevil. What's that had really found like a little niche that was really dope. Netflix found something very special. So Marvel's smart to go back and don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, baby.
Yeah, because like to your point, the one thing, and this is something that I get why the movies went the way that they went, because this whole everything that we're seeing is the Avengers story, no matter what. Like even all you have solo movies, but it's all leading up to the Avengers. When the Netflix came, it was more, like I said, focused on that street level, which if you are a comic book reader, majority of the stories that you read are going to be street level ones, right? And so like you got to have a character like a Daredevil to do that. And I know that this Spider-Man that we're supposed to be getting was supposed to be going that route, but now it seems like they're going back to the big, large scale. Yeah. So like, with this trailer, and like I said, what I loved about the Netflix properties when they came out, it was that it's like I don't need everything leading to the Avengers team up, right? There's still dope stories that are, we would consider them one-offs. So it's like when I was watching the Netflix series, that's what I was looking at. Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, like these are these independent runs that they may have little moments that connect, but you don't need to connect it to get the full story. You don't need to, and that's what I love about it. So with this Daredevil trailer, one, I love that Disney, again, and it's crazy to say this, but like Disney is taking that liberty to lean into what Netflix was establishing, the brutality, the gore, the blood, like, showing that Daredevil is really a beast out here like that, and even like the little nuances of saying like this is still connected to that Netflix series. Like even when you see Fisk, eating dinner with his wife, and then you still see the blood from the season. Yeah. You still see the blood on the painting from when him and Matt had that last final fight, you know what I'm saying? Or, even seeing that, like, listen here, when Daredevil kicked that nigga leg in, I felt it. I said, ooh. Like,
but see, Deuces, you're nailing another point, right? That's the thing that might have been happening. If you look at all the establishing films, if we go Thor, Iron Man, Cat 1, so on and so forth, there's not any movies where one of the heroes is just tearing through a bunch of small level humans.
Exactly.
It don't exist. And that might be the PG-13 thing. It's like we can't show blood. We can show you knocking out Chikari. We can show Chikari blood.
Yeah.
we can't show you regular blood.
Yeah.
So that might be the issue. Like, oh.
Well, also too, to your point, those small nuances like you talked about with Captain America and Black Panther, there's also things about these certain levels that are very significant as to what you want to see. So even like as you just spoke, like most of the MCU circled around world events, then it went to space, and then we had the celestial side of it. And even too, if you notice, from the magical side. From the magic side, if you notice, everything that has to do with magic is very isolated.
Yeah.
Like one division only happened in one particular place.
Right.
No one else is mentioning. Same thing with Agatha Harkness. It was very centered into one thing. Even same with Doctor Strange. You didn't see a lot of people incorporated from the MCU into that magical world. It's very isolated.
Yeah.
Same thing with the street level. So that's what I'm loving of what I'm seeing with Marvel. Like the layers that they've been creating for these different worlds that are inside this MCU had these particular things. And even for, like you said, with the street level, what makes it great is being able to show like, hey, most of the time is these people are fighting henchmen. These people may get in a fight with a boss. It may be a conversation or two, but the majority of it is from a henchman standpoint. And there's a lot of henchmen that are being sent. And so I just think that it's such a great level in Daredevil. Marvel has always done a great job of finding that anchor, as they like to call it, for each of these levels. Like even from a universe standpoint, at first it was supposed to be Thor, but then Guardians of the Galaxy is what really helped us establish what the universe looks like. Because even look at it, Thor adapted to it. First, Thor was very William Shakespeare like in the first two, and then the third one in Ragnarok, it got real funny, it got real colorful like Guardians of the Galaxy is. Same thing in the world perspective, everybody mimics Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah, everybody got that because that's what it is. Like everybody got to have a quip. Like, and I get it. Like I said, for the movies, it makes sense but it's like, I hope that they do keep and retain, like you said, having the layers, retaining this to street level, because you know how crazy it'll look if Thor had to come down and fight Cottonmouth. Like that makes no sense. It's like, wait, there's no reason why Cottonmouth should be facing off against the Hulk. He's going to lose. Like there's like this is like, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta have those layers of, this. If this is street level, establish the threat in street level, establish the hero that saves the street level, that doesn't need to go cosmic, that doesn't need to go magical. It's just like, hey, no, it's just hands. You just get these hands. I'm blind.
Hands is always gonna pay off, and that's why, like for me, my favorite MCU film is Civil War. Civil War ranks really, really high for me. I think the stakes are outrageously high. Yeah, like with all the stuff going on, bro. You killed my mama and my daddy, bro. It's like it's like. And there's it establishes Panther, it establishes Spider-Man, it has all these things, but the reason I bring it up is there was hand to hand in there. When you see T'Challa with nothing on, just him and the Winter Soldier, like, hey man, what's popping, bro? Like,
What's
like
happening?
even like the elbow strikes from old girl, it's like, nah,
Black
that's
Widow.
like a necessary brutality. Even Tony's in there fighting, but he just got like a little glove, a little watch glove.
Just a little bit of
A little watch glove. He ain't got much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Crazy enough, that man took a bullet to the face with his glasses. That shit was wild.
Yeah, man.
When a soldier straight had to bow, he's oh, what, did he shoot you?
Right.
What the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
but like I said, you do need that. You need because like even with like what I love about Captain America's like his movies is again, everything doesn't have to feel the same thematically, right? So when I'm thinking about Captain America and what he actually dealing with Shield and Hydra and everything, like I like that they lean in on espionage and leaning in on that type of level because it's like that's exactly what it is, right? But like I don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then if you give me Guardians of the Galaxy, yes, I need to see blasters fly. Like, give me the spaceship because that's what it's fit for. So that
absolutely,
the main thing that, like I said, what Will said is the layers. Understand who your heroes and villains are, and understand what your setting is, and keep it within there. Don't try to say, okay, we're going to link them in. We got to figure out how Daredevil links up with, you know what I'm saying, with the Avengers so that he can also help and fight the Celestials. Like, like I don't need. That's a team up that maybe it'll be me dope, but I don't necessarily need him to be in that fight.
But see, those layers that Will is talking about is why I kind of give Phase 4 a little bit of grace because I feel like we lost Chadwick. That was y'all plan. Y'all scrambling. Y'all trying to figure it out. Y'all kind of throwing stuff against the wall. We could all kind of feel it. Everything's not connected. Everything wasn't great. There's definitely some miscues, but everything also still had its own layer.
Yeah.
Like She-Hulk coming through that screen, I was like, okay, that's a ripple. This is a little outrageous, but Moon Knight's way over in another world. And I'm like, it might not have been paid off then, but once we get to Secret Wars, this might be very fantastic. You just see Moon Knight jump into the fight, and the other Avengers like, who is that? And Khonshu, I was like, oh, see, this might all be worth it. It's like, when Moon Knight got to have a conversation with one of the other Avengers, it's like, hey, bro, what's wrong with you? Why you? Deadpool keep talking to a screen, and he talking to himself, borderline crazy, changing personality. This might be, this could be, it could be very interesting. It could also be very clunky and messy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but there's more layers now, even after Phase 4, because they went balls to the wall. Y'all was just trying shit, bro.
Well, Phase 4, to add to the giving them some leeway. The reason why I give them leeway is that not only that they really had to pivot twice because, like I said, they lost Chadwick and then they lost Jonathan Majors.
Yes,
like, they had to pivot twice. So I mean, do I hope and wish they get back on track? Absolutely, but like, fam, you take the two big plot points that you had that was going to drive the future of your engine. Yeah, shit's gonna be fucked up.
But even to the point of that's why you say even in giving grace for Phase 4, it's what's also left behind, and I think they left more behind in a good way than it would have been of like with DC's DCEU. We're kind of like, all right, I would just rather forget about that.
Yes,
right.
If we start thinking about it, we're gonna be like, no, this is a very unfinished piece of product. But with Phase 4, they left us enough, and I think, which also is going to lead into the question I want to ask, in as far as connecting Daredevil and the street level to what's currently going on, we've managed to kind of reset ourselves back to Earth in this first 2025. Yeah. So, like even with Captain America, The New World Order, and Thunderbolts, these two films are a great way where Daredevil could start getting connected into the MCU.
Yeah,
because they're not they may have to deal with world issues, but nothing that's going to lead to space or anything like that. Like even with like Iron Man's first two films dealt with people around him. Even his third one, it wasn't until Avengers where the cosmic threat is what came through. Now we don't really have that. Like from what we're seeing, Captain America's fighting Red Hulk and the leader and some other ones, meaning we're not finna get aliens at this time. We're not finna be in space. We're not focused on Thor right now. We don't get that till Doomsday and Secret Wars, and even that's really more coming from the multiverse.
Yeah,
so now we're back on Earth. So I want to know from y'all, as far as with Daredevil Born Again and it being the follow-up to Captain America New World Order, how do you see it connecting to the MCU? And how will even the ramifications of Captain America New World Order affect Daredevil?
Well, I'll keep it simple. And kind of go back to BT's point that he was talking about before we started recording. Justice League Unlimited, to me, they mastered having a multifaceted team, right? You have your leaders who are at the Watchtower or Avengers Tower or whatever, or Avengers facility, whatever the case may be. As the captain of that, if whatever you're dealing with, you got to know which team to dispatch, right? So I would like them to establish, like, okay, yeah, we do have a ground team, we have a cosmic team, we have, like, so in the event, whatever the situation is going that happens, that comes up in the Avengers, you might have to tackle it at multiple rings. So whoever's the leader at that time, whoever we establish is the leader of this new Avengers team, to be able to be like, all right, hey, all right, you know what I'm saying, Matt Murdock, such and such, such and such, I need y'all to go here, handle that, such and such, such, like, you know what I'm saying, like, really establish the team and the command levels, and I think that is the best way to make it work, because once you start pulling in characters just to pull in characters, just to get them to the big fight, that's when it starts seeming like, well, that's kind of weird. Like, why is that person here? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just they're just for the face value? Or, like I said, you establish that world and create it like, okay, we have threats going on, but I know who I need to grab from. I got this roster now. I know who I need to bring for what, and I'm using their powers specifically for, this mission in a case like that. That's how I envision it personally.
Yeah, I think one thing that Marvel has always done a really good job at is having understanding for their power sets.
Yeah.
The MCU specifically, right? Because if you're a comic book head, even if you watch the cartoons, then you know that there's a dynamic on the powers on what makes sense. Like when you're saying Thor fighting, you know what I mean? Old boy from Luke Cage, it's like, yeah, that from Cottonmouth, it's like that fight don't line up, because
right.
In the MCU, they've done a kind of nuanced job of like, okay, if you get hit with a punch from Widow, what does that look like? When Widow's totally in a bad situation, how can she get out of it no matter what the situation is? If she punches, it's like we've always kind of established that hands count, right? So when you see Widow at old girl from Wakanda fighting the girl from Thanos' kids, it's like, oh no, this is just, if you're swinging a sword at me, regardless of your super abilities, I can take a sword. It's like, and it kind of always made sense. So like with them, now that I have an understanding already that spoiler alert, I guess, that they've already said that no, Falcon probably not gonna be able to beat Hulk. He just needs to. He's not here to stop him. He's here to survive. I said, well, that makes sense, because Falcon shouldn't be able to beat Hulk. So it's like, if y'all are already there, I'm in it, and I have a higher appreciation than I think most people do. Well, not us, because we're the blacks. I feel like that underlying story that was going on in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show was solid, bro. The idea that the first Cap was a black man that they were just experimenting on, and he don't really like what happened. I was like, hey, this is great. This is borderlining on Black Panther and African Americans arguing with Africans thing. This is great. So if you gonna give me Isaiah Bradley and hey, and Sam really conflicted with, as a black man, I don't know if I'm Captain America per se. Like,
so I got a question.
America question mark.
So I do got a question about that. Is it because he's also unsure that you still call him Falcon? Because I find that, so I agree with you 100%, but I feel like even us as black people, we still haven't conformed to calling him Captain America. He is Captain America, but we all still call him Falcon. And I wonder, is it because the character is also not sure?
Well, we've been through this. It's because Falcon is not relatable to us. He looked like us, but we don't relate to him. So, and then even too of how they presented him when he became Cap. We talked about this before. He had the worst introduction of showing his suit. It was in a place where he flew in, it was all red, and then we finally revealed he's wearing the Captain America suit. I'm like, this was the most trash entrance to show like, this dude is about to become the face of America, and that's how y'all did him. And then, but again, like you said, though, giving grace to Phase 4, I will give them this. There was a lot that they had to pivot in making that story. Because in the original story, because COVID happened, there was a different way that story was going to be told for that, and they couldn't use that. So they had to make a lot of changes. So that's why I was like, I don't shit too hard on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But we didn't also get a lot of the stuff that we want to see that I hope we see in New World Order, which is the thing of, do they accept this? Are y'all going to show racism now within this? Because of him in the face. But I see that. I think it's going to hint to that because of what gave it away for me was his suit, his new suit. So the original one that's like white that he's wearing, I think he gives that up because of the fact that Americans don't fuck with him, at least the government wise, and he goes to Wakanda.
Absolutely.
His shit and gets his shit.
Now stay there, because here's something else. There's another life nuance that Marvel did really good at. When we saw that first Iron Man movie, one of the things that was very prevalent is when he would go to the Middle East and he was fighting stuff over there and weapons and so on and so forth. At the time, in real life, there was like, it was still that tension was still there with America and the Middle East, like it always was. We might have been at war at the time. So, or if not, we was very close to it. It was like very close to like Bin Laden or something like that. Like it was all, it felt kind of synergistic. And if that's the case, with it being inauguration day, with our president being a little, you know what I mean, people having however they feel about the president, if they start establishing that kind of stuff in this movie that drops in a few weeks, we in a beautiful world.
We are.
We in a beautiful spot.
And I think you should reflect that. I don't think it needs to go as hard. Like especially the clip that we just put out on Straight Up Comic Book. I don't necessarily need to hear the racial tones in the movie. I don't need to hear the N-word drop by someone that doesn't think too fondly of us. I don't need to see that.
Right.
But I do need to see the certain unacceptance of him being Captain America.
Because about to call him boy.
I'll take that. I will take that. I will take that.
You think you are, boy?
And wait,
boy, I don't need your saving.
Just to add stats to what BT was saying. So you were 100% correct. We was in the middle of the war with Afghanistan in that time when Iron Man came out.
Yeah, I know I wasn't going crazy, and I remember like that kind of stuff adds like a layer that can be dope, because 24 used to do that. Like you'd be watching 24, and it was like right as the president was, and sometimes they guess wrong, and he'd be like, y'all thought it was gonna be a woman. Nope. Like, but when you got all the information, it's like, oh, I don't know. So, and now with Daredevil following that up, and then Thunderbolts is like, we're very ground level. Even not for nothing, in 2 weeks, the Spider-Man's supposed to be ground level, the cartoon one.
Yeah, supposed to be back to the neighborhood.
Like you said, we back to the neighborhood. We back on Earth, because that was the biggest problem with Phase 4 is we didn't have no perspective from here, from Earth, because everything was like, it's been all spectacle for a while. It's like, yo, if there's no Cap and Tony was us, as it was the humans in this crazy thing going on.
Yeah.
As much as I love Rocky Raccoon, he a damn raccoon, baby.
Yeah, we still never got the perspective of somebody who dealt with the blip. Like, we seen bits and pieces of it and we can put it together, but that's a whole, bro, there was people, heroes, somebody operating during that whole timeline when people was blipped away. Even if you think about it, going back to Phase 1, they did immediately skip ground level. They went straight to big style. It's like, okay, yeah, we're not doing ground level.
We haven't seen a ground level perspective in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it was also too because of the Netflix thing. So they knew that this is around the time they were still trying to get all their stuff back. So this is like buying Fox, us still trying to make a deal with Sony, us getting our stuff back from Netflix. So they didn't want to start making that stuff. And then it's like, okay, we still got this promising content that we may be able to bring out. An example of Charlie Cox and him being Daredevil again. It's like, yo, no, like we think he's the perfect Daredevil. We don't want to recast him.
Right.
We want to be able to have him be in here. So it's like, we'll wait the whole street level just for a second until we get that situated. And I think that's a good time. But just like how you said, I think phase 4 didn't explain a lot of things for us as far as humans went of how does all this affect us? The blip, seeing aliens, Civil War, Captain America and the Avengers breaking up. And then, of course, you know, from what, 2019 to now, we still ain't talking about this damn hand.
Right. Apparently that's supposed to be coming up in the Wakanda series.
Yes, it's coming in Wakanda series. It's coming in Captain America. So having like and to answer back to your question, like you were saying, Will, having those two worlds connect, I feel like it's going to be a fairly easy transition because even Daredevil is impressive.
Yes,
he's. I never really saw it like that until, I mean, literally when I started rewatching, I was like, wait, is Daredevil our Batman? Like, I was like, I think he's our Batman, bro. I was like, because it's always kind of been given to Tony, or the comparisons have been for Panther, and I was like, no. If you're talking human handling their own hands, criminals,
even his mental,
well, mental. Even the influence. The one thing that I get the comparison with like T'Challa and Tony, but that was just more so money and knowledge.
That's it.
It's the thing that they missing. Batman invoked fear into the criminals of Gotham.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They didn't fear Iron Man, they didn't fear T'Challa, but they fear the fuck out of Daredevil. Right.
and T'Challa and Iron Man only come out for the big stuff. Like Batman was the world's greatest detective. That same thing is really Daredevil. Daredevil comes at it from a lawyer's perspective, though.
Like, when he can't handle the justice in the courtrum, then he'll get in the streets.
Exactly.
He Dexter.
He might be a real nigga.
hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I can see him just like I just this is face paint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, when he's and I'm joking, but I'm not, because in that first in season 1. When he gets the other case, and first of all, he's taking the case based on heartbeats. Nah, you lying. We don't want to rep nobody like that. Then he changed about 6 episodes. He's like, no, we taking this case. No. Like, this guy's clearly guilty. He's like, no. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
What'd you say,
Speaking
bro?
of which, though, yeah, even on season 1, I learned rewatching this. Foggy and Karen ain't shit.
Right.
I've learned this watching this fucking season. They ain't shit. All right.
Wait, why?
Because one, Karen got that black dude killed. Foggy got that Hispanic lady that they were trying to kick out of the apartments, got her killed. He was like, no, we're going to fight this case. We're going to do it for Mrs. Cardenas. And it was like, bro, do you know who you messing with? They will pop her. They got a hole in her wall. And then Foggy just makes me mad because of how he acts with shit. Like when he found out Matt was Daredevil, and the way he was coming at him, I was like, yo, this is what, even the BT's point, I was like, this is where you could tell like the real nigga wanted to come out of Daredevil. Because he was like, how many fingers am I holding up? And it's like, yo, who the fuck you talking to? Like,
right,
bro, that's a trope in comic books. That's the one trope that I hate. Because listen here, if BT came on today and was like, hey man, I just want to let y'all know I'm Batman, I'd have been like, "Oh shit, my nigga!" I hate that trope of people being upset. Like, how dare you did it? I'm like,
they're like, so wait, you've been lying to me this whole time? Like, wait. Well, like he had Daredevil. Had every time I told a lie, that means you knew it and you just went along with it and got more mad. It's like, wait a minute. First, why are you lying to me?
Right.
Let's start there. Like, as a friend, why are you lying to me for what?
Bro, even if the concept of it, like, bro, I'm a regular nigga, right? If BT tell me he Batman and I'm like, wait, so that was you fighting Bane and Joker and shit? He's like, yeah, but I didn't tell you because if they figured out you was my homie, they're gonna kill you. And I'm like, you right? Good looking out. Because you know
the word.
Right.
So
I'm like, yo, who else know?
Yeah. Right. So yeah,
I get the random question, be like, so how you pee in that suit when you out? Like, I'm gonna start asking shit like that. Hey, what that cake made out of? Like, is it a I never want that. You and just fly. Hey, what you say about fucking
money? Did you ever hit Catwoman on the roof?
Like, I know. This may be a little too much information. Can I wear the suit? Like, can I try it on? Like, we kind of the same size almost.
Man, my girl get a kick out of this shit, bro.
Like, I know I can't tell people I know you, but can you like just come and help me one time
right.
in the suit?
Hey, let me get a picture. Let me get a picture about Batmobile for the niggas on Instagram.
And you know what's crazy is that's why we appreciate Spider-Man so much, because his boy was like, "Oh shit, you Spider-Man."
He was ready to help. He was ready to help. He was like, "Yo, you didn't tell me before. I could have been."
He knows Spider-Man. He's like, "Hey, bro,
I'm trying to help you get bitches,
right?"
Man. You know, Spider-Man. That's how you got Zendaya. He was like, "Yo, that's all his homeboys doing right there. You got Zendaya because of that." He was like, "Yo, he knows Spider-Man. You'd have never started this whole line to get to him." But I will say this, and just let me get y'all opinion before we move into the next segment. The way I feel like they could tie all of this in together with what they currently doing, and they kind of showed this in the trailer, in my opinion. I just want to know if y'all may have caught it. The perfect way to tie them in with Captain America, Thunderbolts, and whatever is coming, Wilson Fisk.
Oh yeah.
Wilson Fisk is what's going to tie all of that stuff in, because we've seen what he could do in shadows. You being the mayor and no one's really paying attention to you like that. Oh, this man got to be on some new shit.
Right.
Got to be, especially after watching Daredevil season 3 and to see how he did the government.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing about Wilson Fisk is that his ambition is what leads him, right? So that you got to think like, right now he's the mayor, but he's still conflicted because he still wants to rule the underbelly of the world and everything like that, right? At some point, he's going to realize being the mayor is not the power enough to give him what he wants to rule, and then that's when he becomes a worldly threat. Like that's generally the timeline arc of most major villains. Like they start off loco, and then as they continue to go, their ambition gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Right. And then you get introduced to some alien technology. Now Wilson Fisk has at his disposal something that's unworldly, that needs the Avengers' attention or something like that.
But now let's think about that though, because at that point in time, from the one we're seeing, none of that was necessarily tied in.
Oh yeah, not yet. No,
you mentioned some things and stuff like that to show, like, okay, hey, it is a little part of the MCU, but they barely really said anything. Now, since it's now canon involved, you now have the effects of the first Avengers. You have Ultron. You have the snap. Right. You have all of this now implemented within here. So it's like, yo, Wilson may already be there on some. I'm going for a world level now, not just Hell's Kitchen. Like, hey man, I been there, done that. Now I'm on this now.
Right. And he's an intelligence is a superpower. It always has been. So if you can be cunning and intelligent, you can like, let's go back to the fight that don't make no sense. All right, Thor is face to face with Cottonmouth, right? Yeah, if it don't make no sense for them to fight straight up, but if Cottonmouth had the wherewithal to go kidnap old girl, and he said, hey, Thor, if you hit me, shoot shit at this
bitch. Also, too, since he black, the most common shit, hey, as soon as you come in here, cut that EMP on. Now you can't
absolutely
step out the suit now and let's talk.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like those kind of things. So if Fisk can figure out a way let's step out of Fisk. We also got to remember what Thunderbolt Ross did in Civil War. These human elements. Okay, so let me get this right. You can see it on Falcon's face, on Cap's face when he's like, "Hold on, bro. Y'all want us to sign what?
Y'all back on this shit again?
Y'all want us to sign the Accords? Just like, hold on. You know what I mean?
Tell me who I get to go save?
Yeah, this is gonna be weird. It's like, hold on, you want us to sign what to do what? And now we know that they adding in that element. We know the way that this Captain America ends up amazing. If we establish a world where he is going out of his way to establish a new team, we got gold. Like we got gold for the people that don't believe. Because all you need is Cap saying, well, I've been kind of watching. And boom, blankety blank character. Boom. And I think when they did these final reshoots, that's what they were establishing.
Yeah.
And I think 4 does that. I think phase 4 helped with that because you did leave a lot of folks that it's like, okay, hey, I wouldn't mind seeing these people stepping into the seat of the Avengers. Because remember, the old Avengers are done. We're not there no more.
We have no Avengers as of right now.
We don't have no Avengers right now.
Yeah, and so here's where I truly hope because like that we lead up to, because I mean I know we get into Battle World and everything like that, but I think that to include everybody where it fits and everything, the one thing that we haven't seen yet in these successfully done, we haven't seen a villain team up to the level of the villain team up. Like, oh shit, we need the Avengers to fight because you got to think, like I said, if they're the way that they did Kang, they removed Kang pretty much out of the equation and everything. They're establishing Dr. Doom. We also know that what's Julia Dreyfus's character name? I can't think of her name. Valentina's there. Yeah, we got Valentina's there. We know Kingpin is being like, give us the big bad team up because then that'll also help it make sense on why certain characters have to remain, street level or certain characters, like how they come together. Because it's like, oh shit, we're not just dealing with one big bad, we're dealing with multiple people. We do need the knowledge of who's been fucking with Kingpin. Oh shit, Daredevil has. We need to know all about Kingpin as we can. Oh yeah, you know what? Thunderbolts Ross, his shit's going on. We already got Cap there, but then now we got the Thunderbolts. We really need to figure out what's going. Like, there's a way to bring everybody in, but we do need that villain team up.
So that's my thing. I think gonna happen where it's gonna change everything. I think the Thunderbolts are gonna become the Avengers. I think that's what
that asterisk mean.
I think that's what that asterisk is, and I think when it goes off, you'll see them like the typing thing where Thunderbolts goes away and then they type in Avengers. I think they're going to become the new Avengers because if you think about it, all of them are there for that. Because we kept thinking about young Avengers taking over, but I was like, we may be pulling the trigger too soon with them. Mm-hmm. I was like, we need to look at the now, especially with Doomsday coming and then Secret Wars. Like whatever the Avengers threat is, it has to lead to Doomsday. And you need someone who's chaotic enough to mess this up. And who better than the Thunderbolts who look like they cannot keep it together as they do.
I wonder
Doomsday.
So in my brain, I was kind of where you are, but I had them becoming the Dark Avengers. But I'm wondering, you basically have a collective of super soldiers to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the team, it's missing some things. So it's missing some different layers. You got a Widow in there. Okay, cool. Winter Soldier already knows the lay of the land. So it's just like, and Winter Soldier also knows him and Cap they're already tight. So that you're right. That phone call could just be the Bucky.
Yeah, that's it.
It don't even,
and the Russian Captain America gonna fall in line with Yelena anyway.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be good. And then now you could even tie it into where the new Hawkeye. That's where Yelena's like, okay, I'm cool because I me and her got that very awkward but funny relationship. Right. And then with Fist there, you have Daredevil who ties into She-Hulk. And then She-Hulk can join into the Avengers, which also leads to Wong helping with it. He don't have to necessarily be a part of it, but that's where you can also bring in Moon Knight if you need it. And then who else does Wong know?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, that was it. And then Shang-Chi. And then that's your Avengers.
See, so and I like where you're at. If Falcon can have a conversation with Wong, Daredevil, and Bucky, we good.
Yeah,
because that's kind of everybody. It was like because Bucky got all the Thunderbolts, he knows all of them. Wong knows all the people you just named, and and Daredevil knows all the Defenders. Because oddly enough, if I'm going through and saying in the MCU, who have been some of the best castings? With Tony, obviously, I think Cap is pretty easy to say. Daredevil's probably in that top 3 to 5, bro. Daredevil, I mean, that's Cox is like great.
Yeah, I agree on there. He solidified that, and that's why. But here's the thing: that's why even with this Born Again trailer, I thought it was interesting that they like the two people that they kept that we seen confirmed was the most vicious people. We saw Frank Castle and we saw there.
Castle probably number 4.
Yeah.
Yep. And I guarantee he gonna show up in Thunderbolts. Frank is definitely show up in Thunderbolts.
He probably number 4, and I ain't not for nothing. I think I don't hate the Luke Cage casting.
Me either. No, me either.
That was gonna be my question too. So we saw some hints of that. Do you think that they bring back some of the folks from the Netflix era? Do we get Luke Cage back? Do we get Jessica Jones back?
I think Luke for sure. I think Luke for sure because they showed his shop. Like we saw, you know what I'm saying, his base of operation. And you know what I'm saying? I Jessica Jones, where the character she killed it as Jessica Jones, and I can see them bringing it in.
Never forget she showed them titties. The only Marvel titties we've seen, we never got to see Scarlet. We got to see them titty balls, and I got to give you love. We saw she got dug out.
Yes, yes,
she
did. She got dug
work.
Out by a black. That work. They broke the headboard and the bed.
Hey. But I don't see them rushing to bring her in. I see her being. I don't see them rushing to bring her in. Unfortunately,
I see it as cameos, but I think it'd be a while before we get another season of them. I think they want to see how Daredevil works street level wise.
Yeah.
For the rest of these, I think it's a good thing to say like, hey, this is our introduction to let you know the rest of these street levels are here. Because the one thing I want to see, I do want to see Luke Cage back. I want to see Jessica Jones back. The one thing I'd like to see them do, and I just don't know if they'll pull it, but I feel like they would because of What If, and we're going to jump into that in a little bit. They give us the Asian Iron Fist. Not Danny Rand, but the other one.
Yeah.
If you saw What If season 3, remember the kid when they went?
The kid. Yeah.
I think he may be alive here already in that MCU, and I would not mind them.
I wouldn't. We need to retcon. We need to retcon Iron Fist anyway. So, I'm
okay with that. Bring him in and kill him.
I'll take that, and then it pass on the old boy.
Yeah, I feel like Secret Wars is gonna be a lot of that. It's gonna be like 3 or 4 different versions of a few characters, and when it's all smoke and done, some people gonna be killed off. We're gonna reestablish this new world, and now we're gonna see what's left. And it's like
that's what I want to know with y'all. Just the because of that, and with Fantastic Four dropping this year, how do we tie that in? Because of the fact, like, we know they're technically in a different universe. That's what they're going to be focused on. They're not in our current MCU that we watch. They're in a different one.
Right.
And supposedly that's the Doom that we're going to get that leads to Avengers Doomsday, which is cast by Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. So
BT
how do we...
BT hit the nail on the head because you got... So as much as we love MCU and we give them grace here and there, it's a mess right now. Unfortunately, it is a mess right now. And the only way to get it back is to reset it some way. And the only way that makes sense, again, it is leading up to that battle war world, having different versions of characters, and then people die. And then moving forward, we establish who the new main MCU characters are. That's literally the only, because anything else is going to feel like we're going to poke holes in it. We're going to poke holes in it no matter what. So the only way is get everybody together like some toys, make them fight, and then now, all right, these are the mains. Yeah, we have to establish it that way.
The good thing is, though, we've done it before. So, like, we've seen this before. There is an example to getting this right, and it's Days of Future Past.
Yes.
And that that ended up being a payoff. That's why I'm not really that worried. I'm like, no, we all saw Days of Future Past. We saw Fox really mess this up. We saw them make some necessary corrections, and we saw y'all put everybody in, reestablish, clean up the mistakes. Cyclops can't die, stupid. It's like
that was
y'all cleaned it up.
That was
we're gonna kill Cyclops.
Well, remember, you got to remember, this is coming from a guy who also told all of them to not read any of the Marvel comic books,
right,
or X-Men. So it didn't surprise me that he did that.
Because see, now remember I told you something, and now you just hit it on the head. We gotta always factor in that human element. Do I think Luke Cage gonna show up? Yeah, I don't think he got better. No, I ain't seen him. He ain't on no big show. He ain't got shit to do. He
was on one called Evil, but they just wrapped. So
they done, baby. He just sitting around the house. Jessica Jones ain't got nothing to do.
She's on a show too. But again, Jessica Jones.
Marvel called,
it's like, hey, I'm gonna take these 4 months.
I got stuff to do, baby. With that being said, go ahead.
I gotta hear me out with this now that y'all done said all that though. I don't think Earth 616 is gonna survive after Secret Wars.
I don't either. I think we'll have a new world.
Yeah. I think because of incursions, I think we're gonna lose all of those. I think it's gonna low key kind of move into like how they do Crisis on Infinite Earths. I think we're gonna lose all them universes and go back to one full sacred timeline. And I don't think 616 is going to survive. I think we're going to land in one that has mutants.
But here's the thing. That's why I'm okay with it. Like I was okay with the world that they established in the MCU and Earth 616, but once you started showing me the alternative timelines and all the other things and the possibilities, and I'm like, well, shit, y'all kind of painted yourself in a corner. Respectfully, you had to work with what you had to because the license and shit like that. But now that you got full reins, let's put a cap on Earth 616. Let's move forward to the new world. It's like it's the new 52. It's it's like we see this in comic books all the time. It's like, all right, we done that, and that's why like the way I've always looked at the MCU, and I tell people all the time, like you'll enjoy the MCU way more if you view it this way, is if you view it as a comic book run. Where certain things are canon events, right? Certain things are going to be 1v1, but for the most part, we are seeing Kevin Feige or the Russo brothers, whoever you want to say, mapped out this. We're seeing their comic book run. So now we have to get to a point where the comic book run resets and we start anew. And so like I said, I'm A-okay. If we lose Earth 616, I'm not so like, not my Earth. Like, no, fuck it. Let's go. Let's move forward. Because I do want to see the other team ups that we've been hoping. I do want to see the Avengers versus X-Men. I do want to see Wolverine, with Iron Man and the bickering there. I do want to see, like there's a whole Deadpool and Spider-Man. If we're talking about trying to make it make sense in this world, yes. Do the battle world, blow it up, and then let's establish the new and let's move forward. That is the mean.
But on your point, bro, Fantastic Four, I feel like, again, we've seen this already. Fantastic Four works. It's very simple. Do the Incredibles, slightly different.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And it seems like they doing it too, because when you said that, now that I remember kind of seeing like the D23 trailer they pulled out, that shit really is live action Incredibles.
Mm-hmm.
The city, the car, how they.
When you look at when I was watching Mrs. Incredible thick ass use her stretch powers, I was like, I ain't never seen Mr. Fantastic use the stretchy like this. Why is she using her stretchy good? She making her stretchy interesting.
Yeah, I was like, she is. Hey, I know I ain't supposed to be
her
looking
stretchy.
She
all
working
right by me. You hear me?
She was working them stretch.
Bro, the Pixar mom, that thing became because of her.
Yes. Well, we gotta still give respect to the OG mom, and that's Dexter's mom. That's the
She's not Pixar.
She not though. You're right. But I want to say she opened the door though. She opened the door
though. Mm-hmm. Hey, and Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy. Actually, too. The Pop-Up Girls teacher. Was thick. She has lips on her too. I'm like, wait a minute. What's wrong with this in Cartoon Network? Who is doing this? But yeah, so hopefully I just know we're very excited for, we know the big three that are coming out, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, Captain America. All in all, it just looks like it's going to be a great 2025 for Marvel. I don't want to hear no more about, hey, y'all did this in phase 4. Now let's focus on right now. Let's focus
on the future. Yeah, what we got going on now and what's coming.
Yeah.